from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine.
And everything in between. This is Legends Lookback.
We are here for Legends Lookback, and we could not be more excited. Did the pre-recorded episode for last week. I had to, talk Rick through how to press the buttons just right in order to start the episode, and something kind of weird and maybe disturbing, it's up to you if you think it's disturbing, happened between shows. As you know, been building the Star Wars room up here, putting the books on the shelves, and I got the little figurines and the toys, and my kids are often up here with me. It's kind of sweet, in fact, just how much they love coming up here with me and looking at the Funko Pops. And Lucy, my little one, likes to pet Walrus Man's head a lot. Panda Baba, he's kind of got a smooth scalp, does a lot of petting him. Anyway, what she's especially drawn to, as we showed on a couple episodes ago, the Jedi Masters in their chairs. You know what I'm talking about, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Jedi Masters in the chairs, I got 3 of these things. I would eventually love to have a full Jedi Council of all 12, but, collecting, you got to take things one at a time. Right now I've got Yoda, Mace Windu, and Oppo Rancisis. All right, now here's the deal with Oppo Rancisis. What would you guys say are Oppo's defining qualities as a being?
Either the tail or the head beard.
Also, he has some pretty wild fingernails, if I remember correctly. Is that correct?
Fingernails. Oh, whoa! Look at those things.
Yeah,
I've not even noticed those. Oh my gosh! Well, you are correct. Great fingernails. Definitely. Somebody needs to recommend a manicurist to Mr. Rancisis here. Now, did you know that, in fact, Oppo Rancisis has more than
4 arms,
these
right?
2 hands? You know this, Jacob?
Yeah, they're
know?
hidden in the cloak or whatever.
Mike, I had no idea. I've had this thing for 2 years, 3 years. My kid lifted up his cloak. And he's got secret hands under his robe.
What?
Not 1, but 2 pairs of these crazy, weird, long fingernails.
Nice.
And if that doesn't make you rethink your life, I don't know what will.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. Somebody needs to make a gif out of me lifting Oppo Rancisis's skirt.
Cloak.
Well,
I don't know if that's entirely appropriate.
Yeah.
we're just gonna breeze right past that.
Hands where we can see him, Oppo.
And start the show. What do you say, guys?
Are we doing that now? Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Starting now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Lookback, proudly part of the YOUTINI Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast whose show notes are written entirely in blow pen, where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined tonight by my legendary co-hosts, Freddie C. Wait, no, Freddie. All right, no Freddie tonight. Freddie is moving, in fact. He is loading his shipments up onto the transport and hoping he doesn't have to jettison them out the airlock, because then Jabba the Hutt's going to send Greedo over to, do something about it, and Freddy's going to have to shoot him, and it's a whole thing. Freddy's not here tonight. Freddy, we miss you. What's up, buddy? Also, Emily Daybeck is not here with us because she had her baby!
Yay,
congratulations
babies.
to Emily. She is, in fact, here with us in the chat, and only has 1 pair of hands, none others under his onesie. Anyway, congratulations to the Daybeck family. We do have a message from Emily in just a second. We're going to catch up with her. Very awesome of her to record something for us right after such a huge life moment. And so we miss you. It's weird without you. But you know what? We still have Rick Grace. How are you, Rick?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here and back to it. It's been good to... felt like we took a break, even though we still had a show last week, but just... now we're back to it. It's another Thursday.
It is weird.
Even though I thought it was Monday today, so it's fine. We're here, though.
Right. Yeah. He said, I said, it's been a long week. Rick said, why? It's only Monday. It's not even remotely Monday. And you know who else it's not Monday for? Our esteemed guest. You know him and love him from the likes of The Cosmic Force, the YOUTINI Discord channel, Law School, That is Jacob Boesch. How are you, Jacob?
I'm doing well. I'm alive. That's I can say that for sure.
Perfect. That's all we need.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. Nice to spend my Thursday evening with you guys talking about all the collecting we've been doing over the past many years. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, especially because I get to show off my hardcover copy of Jacob's favorite book, Shadows of the Empire. Am I right?
It's my favorite so much that I have never read it. So I'm just saving it. I'm saving that experience.
Even though it was required reading for this show, you still only could read the comic.
Yes, that's true.
I love that. Well, as we said, we do have a word from Emily. Emily, who is not with us tonight, but I, in fact, had to write the episode description.
Yeah.
And as I was writing it, I remember thinking, Emily's going to think this is a wild description. I don't remember how to do these without her help. Emily, we need you. However, let's hear a little word from Emily. Well, that was really awesome from Emily. Really grateful that she sent that in to us. And I got to admit, it kind of sent up like a firestorm on the team. Emily, obviously, they're in a big life transition, make it or break it, trying to take care of their little one. And yet, the likes of us, our hive of scum and villainy Star Wars book collectors, we saw those shelves and everybody started drooling over them. Trevor from across the pond was like, "Oh, I've never seen a copy of that." It was some Vader book and was like, "Grab it and mail it to me." And Corey said, "Hold on, guys, let's back this up a second. Are we really about to commit a heist against the Children's Hospital?" Is that really what's happening here?
And a very nice Australian accent there for our... Oh, man, it's funny.
Yeah, I have no idea where he's from. I know it's just over there.
Let's see. You said Trev?
We've had some debate.
Right.
He's Wales.
Wales,
yeah.
Is Wales a real country? Is it really?
I thought it was a mammal.
Oh, there we go.
He can yell at me when he
Rick's
wakes
jokes.
up in like 6 hours. So
Oh, I know it.
Oh, now, Emily does say some of the books are even bannerless, which leads us to our topic tonight. We are talking all about the world of Legends collecting, and I can't wait to get to it. I gotta say, I'm deep in the collecting rabbit hole right now, and hope to suck all of you down with me. No, but I do want to say, relating to Emily's little one, and where they are staying in the Children's Hospital of Orange County, you also, esteemed listener, have the chance to donate and help contribute to their Star Wars book collection. If you're looking at those shelves and you're saying, that's a lot of copies of what's the one that there's Shadows of the Empire. Let's put some other ones up there. It's up to you. You can get the job done. In fact, we have a link that we are putting in the chat where you can donate new copies, unread copies. They got to keep them clean. Those babies don't like dirty books, y'all. And of course, you can help the people get their hands on the Star Wars books. Gotta say though, not a bad collection they've got going on.
no, I mean,
It's
I
pretty
think
sweet.
I think if I'm donating, what you gotta do, because they have a lot of copies of Heir to the Empire with the Legends banner. I think you gotta help them round out the trilogy. I don't know if they had any copies of Dark Forces Rising or Last Command, but if I'm in Children's Hospital of Orange County, I think I want to finish the trilogy. So that'd definitely be my goal.
Nice.
Good suggestion, Jacob. I think there's 16 Timothy Zahn Star Wars books, if I am correct. So there's a lot more that we can donate there. We get some outbound flights up in there. How about some ascendancy? In fact, in the Discord, we've got a big duel happening right now. The finals of the YOUTINI March Madness is dropping right now as we speak. Light of the Jedi up against Heir to the Empire. So Legends listeners, I'm calling you to help us win the Legends canon war once and for all. And it's going to be phenomenal if Legends wins. I'll make you a deal. If Legends wins, I will buy myself one new Legends hardcover to celebrate.
Wow.
What do y'all say?
That's so generous of you, Jared.
Yeah, I feel like this might be a given one way or the other, but it could just be confidence. That could be it.
Oh, yeah.
How about you put something real on the line and give us a Kalwakian monkey lizard impersonation if Legends wins?
All right, we can do that. Yeah. I'll work on my salacious B-crumb laugh and
There you go.
see if I can bring that to next week. Not pecking anybody's eyes out, though.
That's fair.
He does chow down on C-3PO's eyes. Now, a couple of fun things we've got coming up down the pipe. We've got 3 things here tonight in Legends Lookout. Before we move on to an extra epic Thraken's thrift store for our collecting episode, and that is first and foremost, I'm going to be on the Living Force Monday night, and I'm so excited, featuring an episode of Eric's Stupid Game that Jacob and I have collaborated on, and it's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen on the Living Force, isn't it, Jacob?
Unlike anything you've seen on the Living Force, but it is like something you may have seen on Legends Lookback as a hint.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is correct.
interesting.
This is such a fun, goofy project that, like, I stayed up really late at night, like, after I'd already turned the lights off and gotten under the covers and, like, was already falling asleep, and then, bing, I had my idea. I messaged Eric, I messaged Jacob, and then I just stayed awake, looking at my phone, sending messages, doodling ideas down for, like, 2 hours. It was one of those kind of ideas. You know what I'm talking about?
I do feel bad. It's probably partially my fault that you were up at least as late as you were, because I was also sending you ideas back at the same time.
Right. Yeah, I expected Jacob to be like, oh yeah, totally, going on the back burner, I'll get to it next week. Instead, he was like, how about this, right here, right now? All right, I don't want to spoil it. I'm a really bad secret keeper. Moving on. Jacob, what's next?
Next is some big YOUTINI news. You've probably heard it if you tuned into the Living Force or the Cosmic Force recently, but YOUTINI will be at Celebration in a somewhat official capacity. So we'll have a booth on the show floor as well as a panel. So it's super exciting. The first time there's a YOUTINI presence in Chicago, but it's the first time we've had more of an official role going on there. So it's very exciting. Of course, we want to thank all of our patrons for making it possible. Without your support, we definitely would not be where we are. The microphone I am reaching you with is because of our patrons. So, thank you so much for all that. I believe Jared will be there, and I believe Freddie will be there. So, you'll definitely get some Legends Lookback crew there.
In fact, the plans are for everybody but Rick. I'm sorry, Rick.
I know, me too.
We'll see how it all shakes out for Emily, but the plan is that all three of us will be there, minus Rick.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
though.
sorry.
No, that's cool. I'm terrible at saving money, so I couldn't probably make it work this decade, so it's fine.
Well, very excited. We've got some fun things coming up for that. And Freddie's got some video gear. We're going to be shooting footage for Legends Look Back. You'll be seeing some fun stuff coming your way. But, hey, if you're wanting to hang out with us, come to our YOUTINI party, buy your celebration tickets and plane tickets and hotel tickets. You buy tickets to a hotel? There's a lot of stuff to buy. Anyway, hope to see you there. And if not, you can check us out here at Legends Look Back. We'll keep you up to date with what we've got going on. And Rick, finally, in Legends Look Out, what do we have?
Yes, sir. So, Jared, you've been busy updating your new Star Wars room. You got a new house. It's been probably a couple months now you've lived there. And you have been taking the patrons behind the scenes, looking at the Yavin base build. And there's another episode that is out. And this week, it is all about the bookshelves. So, pretty exciting to get to see all the work you're putting into that room. And makes me and the rest of us all jealous at how cool that room's coming together. So, good job, man.
It's coming together really nice. In fact, thank you. When I come home from work, sometimes I just run up here and grab my Star Wars book and sit in my chair, and I'm like,
Yes.
But the problem is now it's so good that I don't feel the need to actively be working on anything, so I've stalled out a bit. Yep. But I don't have a door up here. My cat keeps bugging me.
Yeah.
So the door is going to be a big build. I think I have all the supplies for it.
You're building the door?
So we'll see.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I'm going to construct a triangular door, like a Star Wars, like a sliding door. It's going to have lights.
Is it going to be shaped like a Star Destroyer, like pizza shape?
So I did this shape. So I'm trying to say like the Massassi Temple.
Yeah, that works.
Kind of shape.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it's a big job. So I've not started.
Sounds like a big job.
But I did go to Hobby Lobby today, and I bought a Star Wars decoration.
Nice.
Can't reach it, so I'll show it off next week. All right, Thraken's thrift store time. We are doing an episode tonight all about collecting Legends books. So what we're going to do is we're going to show off our newest Legends books, and I don't know if I'm ashamed or excited to say I've got a lot of stuff to show off.
Let's do it.
It's part of tonight's episode is just like an intervention for me to stop buying Star Wars books.
Did you buy the thing I sent you the other day without spoiling that?
I did. Tell them what it is,
okay.
Jacob.
All right. let me see if I remember the exact one I sent you.
How many people are you enabling?
Well, no, I don't remember what the exact title of it. I'm pulling up the link. Hold on. So yeah, there's a Young Jedi Knights is a hard series to get a hold of because it hasn't been in print in a long time, and there's like 13 books. So the easiest way to get it all in get the whole story in as few books as possible is with the sci-fi book collection hardbacks. There are 3 of them. The first one is pretty easy to find. It's not like super. It's pricey, but it's nothing crazy.
It's the only one I already have.
It's nothing crazy.
Like a couple months ago.
For the kind of stuff we're talking about tonight. The second and third really also aren't that expensive. They're just almost impossible to find on sale. Like they pop up. Like you go on eBay and you'll find like 1 or 2 of them maybe, and they disappear very quickly. So Jared got a copy of Under the Black Sun, which is the 3rd and final volume of the Sci-Fi Book Club, Young Jedi Knights collection. So you're two of 3 down. I think the 3rd one's the hardest one to get, right?
It is. Jacob, you want to hear some more news associated with that?
Did you find the second one?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The same night, I bought both.
Nice.
Here's the deal. It was for sale. They had a very good copy, or like an unbelievably good copy through Thrift Books at the exact same price as the other one. Yeah, so more than I typically spend on a Star Wars book, but not more than I'm willing to spend on one of these. So I bought both volumes 2 and 3 in the same day. After Jacob, just a couple of days before that, I had declared, sweeping declaration, I'm not spending any more money on Legends books until after Celebration. And then you know what Jacob does? He sends me a link to a really nice collectible Star Wars book I wanted and didn't have, and I bought it. I also got, a few weeks ago, these been sitting around, been waiting to show off. Speaking of Young Jedi Knights, the paperbacks of, this is The Lost Ones. Pristine. Look how crisp this copy is. I mean, it look at those corners, Rick. Look at those corners.
Beautiful. 90 degrees.
So The Lost Ones. And this is, without a doubt, 100%, no doubt whatsoever, my very favorite Legends cover of all time. Lightsabers. Wow. Just that castle on, I think it's on Hapes. And Luke's face is a little sus.
Is it Hapes?
I say Hapes.
Oh, I thought it was
a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, hold on.
Like, don't touch it or I'll get Hapes. You know what I'm saying? So, that's... Is that it? Anyway.
Herpes? Okay, sorry.
No.
Hapes.
Anyway, lightsabers. Very excited about that. I got the what is this called? Marvel Epic Collection Legacy Volume 2, which just came out. I had to show this to Jacob because he's a comics guy. Passes the smell test for sure, featuring Anya Solo. I have not finished this series. I think I've read about half of it. Looking forward to getting into it. And the second to last bannerless Legends paperback that I need. No Prisoners. I had a bannered copy that I just mailed to Tyler a couple days ago.
There you go.
Shout out to Tyler. He and I have a fun thing coming up very soon involving Legends books. All right, how about y'all? Got anything?
Jacob, you got anything?
I got a canon thing. I don't know does that count?
We'll allow it.
All right, thank you. Have not.
Just kidding. Get rid of him.
No. So I finally got my last book I needed for the High Republic, which was Mission to Disaster, and I got a signed copy. So that was very exciting. This is, well, you can't really see it, but there we go, kind of. It's
pink.
Yeah, it's pink. And it came with a nice little button. It says Jedi of the High Republic.
Cool.
And it lights up. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
That is nice.
Where did you get that at?
This was from Caprichos, which was the local bookstore for Justina Ireland that she partners with.
Nice.
But this is 4 out of 5 High Republic authors I have a signature from. The only thing I don't have a signature from is Daniel Jose Older, so I'm crossing my fingers that he might do a similar deal with a local bookstore for Edge of Balance Volume 2, and then I can have everyone from Wave 1 having signed a book. So, yeah.
Now I'm curious if I have his. I'm looking around here. Now I feel like I'm going to be up till midnight opening up all my Daniel Jose Holder books and comics, looking to see if I have his.
I feel like I have Last Shot autographed. I don't know. I don't have that out of the box yet.
Not sure. What if I told you guys that I wasn't done?
Keep going. Hold on. Should I go for a little bit? Because I got a bunch, too.
Yeah, you go.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta grab my stack.
All right, I'm going to show you some books first, but I got some extra stuff. This is about collections, and we have some different collections, but I'll do books first. So I think you guys will appreciate this. I don't know much about this. But check this out. Got this at Half Price Books. The Secrets of Star Wars
Oh my
Shadows of the
goodness.
Empire.
Okay, Rick, put that up in front of your face. That's the thumbnail. Yep. Without a doubt. Like, make it where it looks like it's your head. Back it up. Back it up. Yep, there it is, right there.
Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
no. I can smell the dad energy.
I
from
know,
over here.
I know. It's like a puppet, and puppets are one of my things, so you got me going there. Eric, sorry, I need to give Eric a warning next time. So yeah, it's got all kinds of behind-the-scenes illustrations and just commentary on, oh my gosh, look at that Mac, dude.
Wow.
Okay, probably not a Mac, actually, but there's a cat in his lap. I don't know how he's getting work done. There's a cat in his lap. And then...
That's a cool book.
yeah, so a lot of fun stuff in there. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but not much. And so I was like, okay, sure. And then a little bitty Return of the Jedi like script book with some pictures in it. This was also like stupid cheap. I think it was like on clearance for like $1. And so I was like, okay. This is one I've never seen before. The Military Science of Star Wars. I love me a good like reference book or like philosophy or any kind of like actual subject that we would study in the real world that tries to compare the Star Wars world. And so this has like tactical procedures and weapons and tactics, like all that. Pathways to a commission. So you want to be an army officer? That's what it says. Like, this is great stuff. And so I'm excited about this. And then one more book. The Star Wars storybook with full color photographs. This will be a fun one to go through with the kids. Love the classic Death Star with the inverted.
I've never seen this thing. Wow, cool.
So it's just stories, and it looks like most of A New Hope.
Are the illustrations colored?
They're photos, actually. And they are in color.
Full color. Oh, cool.
Yeah, all the colors. Available probably
Awesome.
in the, I'd say early 80s, by the looks of it. Let's see when this thing was published. Sorry, now I'm on a tangent. No, 78, so.
78?
Yeah.
Wow, old school.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that was a cool little set, but that's all the books I got, but I got more to show. You ready for your second wave, Jared?
All right, yeah, I'll be quick. Ready, lightning round. Ever since I put my bookshelves up, I was like, you know what? I can fit some more books on these shelves. And I really kind of went overboard and bought quite a few. The problem is I've got a list of the Legends hardcovers I don't have, and so there's a lot. So I bought a good chunk. All right, ready? Here we go. The Corellian trilogy.
Ooh.
Old Republic Deceived. Trying to get like all my Old Republic books. So now I have nearly completed that set featuring Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. Also another copy of it that's on its way here because I accidentally bought two on the same day. Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor.
Nice.
Haven't read this one yet.
Is that Matthew Stover?
The Courtship of Princess Leia. The hardcover has her and Fabio in their wedding dresses, and the paperback has Princess Leia riding a Rancor, and so I prefer that cover, but didn't have the hardcover. And then the book that I'm currently reading, Star Wars Tales.
Nice.
This is a collection, the Sci-Fi Book Cover, Sci-Fi Book Club edition, collecting Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, and Tales from Jabba's Palace. I read Tales of the Bounty Hunters last week. I'm reading Tales from Jabba's Palace right now, and oh my goodness, is it blowing my mind. It's like, all right, y'all ever see that 80s movie Clue?
Yeah.
No.
All right, we're 1 for 2. Jacob, Clue, have you played the board game?
Yeah.
The movie is the board game on cocaine. I'm pretty sure every single actor is on
I
cocaine.
mean, it was the 80s, so
Right. It's fair game.
this tracks.
As were like the filmmakers, because the end of the movie, there's a plot twist. And then it rewinds, and you go through the entire events of the movie all over again from another character's perspective, and you realize that the person that you thought was the murderer isn't necessarily who the murderer is. So you get a whole new angle on what has transpired, and then they do it again. And then they do it again. And then they do it again. Clue is the same movie over and over and over from different characters' perspectives, and every single time it changes what you thought about who the murderer is. That is exactly what Tales from Jabba's Palace is. And I did not know going into it.
No, I didn't know that either.
And it is delightful.
So are these, like, I have the Tales and paperback, and I also have that SFBC, but I've not read, like, hardly any of them. I started reading one of the Tales of the Bounty Hunter. Are these good, like, stories for kids? There you go. Or are they definitely not kid-friendly?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No
kids.
No, it's so violent.
Okay.
Was it the Bosk one you said was really, really bad?
The Bosk one in The Bounty Hunters was one of the most painful stories I've ever read.
Wow.
But the Zuckuss and Forlom, it was a capital L literary experience. It was, I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, I'm probably going to reread it within the next few weeks. It was so beautiful. In a nutshell, I'll give it to you in 30 seconds. We'll move on. Zuckuss in Legends has an ability called, oh, dang it. What's it called?
He's
It's not.
It's in canon too. I think he's like a way seeker or something like. Or no, not way seeker. What's it called? He can like
Intuition.
Oh,
He
okay.
has something called intuition. So he can, like, feel when something's going to happen. Like, he's intuitive in the sense. But then it's kind of similar to what they've done in canon, where, like, in hyperspace, he meditates. And it's kind of mystical. And then so Forlom stands there and watches him when when Zuckuss is meditating and receiving his divine intuition or the Force intuition. And Forlom's like trying to figure out how he does it so that he can do it himself. It is so beautiful and goofy in the best Legendsy way possible. Maybe in my top 10 Legends stories I've ever read in my life. Whew.
Nice.
How about you, Rick? You got anything else?
Yes, sir. Hold on 1 second.
All right. By the way, we got to get a picture of me holding this massive stack just in case it's useful.
Go for it. A little higher, a little higher. Higher.
A little higher.
Keep going. There you go. Now cover your face. There we go. There's the keeper. Oh, man.
Amazing.
All right, so y'all want to talk Funko or figures next?
Up to you, Jacob.
Let's go Funko.
Funko. So, a long time ago, in a game store, when me and Jared were in the same place at the same time, I bought my first Funko. I decided that I was going to start collecting Pops and get Sith Lords. That's what I said. I'm going to stick to Sith Lords. And I got...
Sith Lords?
Yes, exactly. I got Darth Vader, and he makes sounds and glows, and it's cool. And then, Palpatine, right? Yeah, Vader and Palpatine, rocking their Sithness. I got home, and I got a Darth Maul. Actually bought 2 Darth Maul, because I forgot that I bought one.
Been there. Yep.
So now I got one for sale if anyone's... Okay, sorry. And then, I had to continue the Sith Lord, and... got Jar Jar, Darth Jar Jar, and he's also a fan favorite. I just love Jar Jar, and and then Boba Fett. He's not a Sith Lord, but he's cool. Oh no! Now I'm no longer in Sith Lords. Oh, and then Ahsoka, because Ahsoka, and oh look, it's Luke with Grogu. That's cool, and why not? How about a Bantha with the Mandalorian with Grogu?
Yeah. I knew this was going to get out of hand.
And then
Rick is illustrating the dangers of collecting without boundaries, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I need help. Send help.
So, Rick, it's funny you mentioned collecting Sith Lords and your Vader having lights and sounds, being a lights and sounds Funko, which of course, they cost more as they do. I'll have to send you something in Disc or in Slack after this because they launched it's called the Red Lightsaber series. It's a series of 5 Funkos with glow in the dark and lights and sounds
What's that
figures.
sound right here? Hold on.
And
I think I can hear Rick taking out another wallet.
Yeah.
I'm no longer credit worthy, so probably not.
But it is it's not all Sith, but it is all dark side users. They've unveiled Palpatine and they've showed the previews of the rest of the one. And it's pretty clearly Maul, Savage, Dooku, and Vader. So it's gonna be a nice set of all dark side wielding lights and sounds, glow in the dark Funkos. So that'll run you $120 somewhere in that ballpark, probably for all of them.
They're not out yet, right?
The Palpatine one is up for pre-order with GameStop. I can send that to you.
Don't underestimate Rick's ability to strike a deal. I was with him once, and we got the exact same book. He got it for $5 cheaper than me. He was just kind of, what's the word for charming?
I was just being myself.
Smarmy? Is smarmy a word?
Sure. I don't know.
All right. Well, it's in your Slack DM, so there you go. You're welcome.
Oh, enabler.
That's what I do.
So the point tonight, of course, is set yourself some boundaries, set yourself some limits.
Yes.
And then violate those limits and talk about it for the world to hear on a podcast.
Can we just talk about how buying is cheaper than therapy? And some shopping therapy. Okay.
It depends
okay.
on what you're buying.
You
It
sound like
depends
my
on what you're
therapist,
buying.
Jared. Thanks for that.
It's like my insurance can't cover my Star Wars collectibles, unfortunately. So,
Right?
Amazing. Well, we've got so much more to talk about in the world of collecting. But before we do, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. We'll talk about paperbacks, banner or no banner, hardbacks, tall or short, comics, single issues, or trade paperbacks, or omnibuy, or there's a lot to talk about, isn't there, guys?
It's true.
Let's get to it. Let's face it, there's not a ton of new Legends content that's been coming out since 2014. There's some. Hey, we keep you up to date in the Legends Lookout segment. Boy, do we. But mostly reprints, Essential Legends collections, Marvel Epic collections, the big hardcover comics, omnibuy, so forth and so on. But so much of how many of us enjoy being a modern-day Legends fan is by adding more fine additions to our collections. How is my General Grievous there? Let's see if I can get some coughing going, Rick. Anyway, tonight we're going to break it all down. Let's start off with the paperbacks, all right? Let's keep it simple. Just like the age-old question, and by that I mean the 2014 old question. Do you prefer your Legends paperbacks with the banner or without the banner?
So if there's an option, I'm going to say bannerless. But for me, when I was completing my collection, at least of adult, canon books and Legends books, well, Legends books specifically here, I just wanted a copy. Whether I found it in hardcover, Science Fiction Book Club, paperback, Legends, bannered, whatever. I just wanted a copy. And then I've kind of gone back through and getting more hardcovers or bannerless. But honestly, the banners don't bother me that much.
Jacob.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think we're all mostly on the same page. I'm also a bannerless person. I definitely have the smallest Legends collection by far. But I don't dislike the look of the Legends banner. I think it looks fine. I just think for me at least, it's a matter of nostalgia. The part of the experience of reading a Legends book for me is cracking open your mass market paperback beater copy with no banner. It smells like an old book. That's what I enjoy. That's just my experience.
I should see what I'm reading right now. My Jabba's Palace cover. I'm trying to keep it from falling apart while I read it.
It's I don't even really go for Legend. The Young Jedi Knights is my exception. I really don't buy hardcover Legends books. I think the paperback is just more similar to my experience as a kid reading these books. So yeah, that's my take.
Oh, so you didn't collect the hardcovers at all?
No.
Ooh, interesting wrinkle in tonight's episode.
That is.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Nice. I am on the bannerless side of things, but I like the way Jacob said it. I also agree. The banner doesn't bother me. I'm not offended by it. I don't think it looks bad. I actually saw a collection recently. Oh, it was the thing Emily sent. Of all those pristine copies, those colors are sharp.
Yeah.
Those books have yet to have their spines broken. I kind of just want to touch them. You know what I mean? Like every time I go to Barnes & Noble, I'm not going to buy any of the banner copies, but I just like to go over there and take a look at some crisp, clean Legends books.
So you're a sniffer and a toucher, huh?
Oh no, what have we done?
I think a lot of us just appreciate having a as uniform as possible of a collection. For some of us that's uniform without a banner, but uniform with a banner also looks pretty cool.
Now, somebody said this week we were having this debate in the Discord. Somebody said not every adult Legends book has a banner yet. I don't know what the ones are that don't yet have a banner. But see, that bothers me equally, such as the fact that there are 5, the big 5 as I call them, 5 books that are not available in paperback without a Legends banner. Let's tell you guys what the books are, and then let me ask what we should do about this problem. Number 1, Mall Lockdown. Number 2, Kenobi. Number 3, Honor Among Thieves. 4, Razor's Edge. And 5, Crucible. Now, there's one more that is on the fence. You guys know about this? It's a whole dilemma.
I
like to call it the Legends White Whale.
It's in the show notes, so I can see it obviously. But yeah, I was aware of this because isn't it like so the book is Lost Tribe of the Sith, which was published in trade paperback format, which is like the taller paperback, similar to
keep going, and I'll grab my copies of it.
Similar to the Essential Legends collection, that size, that format. So in the U.S. it had the banner for the most part, and then in the U.K. it had no banner. But I believe it was something like that. Like one of the other distinguishing factors was like the text on the cover was green instead of yellow or something like that. If I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, it's butt ugly.
Yeah. So it's very hard to get without a banner. But even if you get it without a banner, it doesn't match the same size as most of your other Legends paperbacks. So
that's right. And then here's the right, as you said, in the U.S. for the most part, there is a bannerless U.S. regular-sized paperback, but it is the absolute white whale of Legends paperbacks. It is the hardest thing ever to find. I do not yet own one. I do have my Legends banner trade paperback of Lost Tribe of the Sith. I remember reading this while I sat in the theater and waited for The Force Awakens to come on in 2015.
Didn't these come out as like novellas first?
Yes, okay. Yes. And then the printed version has one more story, like a novella. I mean, the last short story is the longest, so it's you get your money's worth. Cool. And then the green, you can't even read this. That's just how sickening
it looks like a Goosebumps like font style.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, listeners, if anybody has the U.S. regular-sized paperback,
so that's the UK version you have there.
Right.
Nice.
It is correct.
So, are all 3 versions the trade paperback size, or is there one that's mass market paperback? Oh, the UK version is mass market.
Right. It's weird. Very strange happenings with this book.
Whoa.
Very strange.
His nose got bigger, I swear.
It's a big nose. All right. Now, the paperback world, we've beat it to death. But the fact of the matter is, there's also the size dilemma. Do you guys have a preference on the size? I gotta say, I kind of like the readability of these big boys.
Yeah. So early on, when I was collecting books in general, I liked the price point of mass market paperback. But then, like we kind of mentioned, you break the spine and the book starts falling apart. And you can almost get those trade paperbacks to lay flat, or at least they're more comfortable reading. I get like hand cramps trying to hold a mass market paperback, open sometimes. I'm also clumsy, so maybe that's just me. But I prefer trade paperback.
Yeah, these are the real struggles of Legends fans. Everybody, your hands can cramp, your pages can fall out,
your bank account's empty.
Books can have you can't get credit. Your books have these banners at the top. What are we going to do? What are we gonna do? Jacob, do you have a preference on size?
I just turned around and I realized I don't own a single trade paperback at least
gotta
of
try
Star
one of
Wars.
these.
I think I have like a few like regular novels in that size, but when's the last time I've read a non-Star Wars book?
Right.
I
Right.
can't really tell you, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know if I have a preference. I think look wise, I like the mass market paperback, but I think, yeah, I if I remember correctly, I think I've had some good physical reading experiences with the trade paperbacks.
They are really, really readable. My trouble is with Lost Tribe of the Sith, I put a real nasty crease here from where my finger went when I bit the pages back. Real nasty crease.
Yeah.
But that crease is a memory.
Well, it kind of looks like a Sith went to town on it, like was scratching at it or something. I don't know. It has some story, some character.
Yeah. Or my nervous hands as I was waiting for The Force Awakens to come out.
Could have been a
Let's
hand
move
cramp,
on to
Okay, sorry.
It could have been. That's right. Let's move on to hardcovers. Speaking of size, we have two different sizes in Legends hardcovers. I've got two different versions of Dark Lord of the Sith. Why? Because I accidentally bought a second when I already owned one. Dark Lord of the Sith here, The Rise of Darth Vader. I've got in the... I like to call these affectionately tall boys. Though I think the more correct term is the retail version. The retail version. And then the Science Fiction Book Club version.
Nice.
Or you got,
Yeah.
the Baby Yoda version, just a little smaller.
Okay, to me, the SFBC, I have to say the acronym every time because I have to think through,
It's fine.
Yeah, they're creepy to me because I'm so used to the regular size. Once I see them, it's like, whoa, every single time. So I've got a bunch of them too, but they creep me out for some reason.
I do prefer the taller version. However, here's the problem. There's quite a few books that were not published in the tall boy retail version. Therefore, the Science Fiction Book Club did publish these shorter, squatter versions.
Yeah.
Then, if you want a uniform bookshelf, what are you going to do? Got to buy the short
Or
one.
just
I know
buy,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, I know the big one is Legacy of the Force, because I think of the 9 books, 3 of them got a standard size hardcover, but all of them got a Sci-Fi Book Club hardcover.
Yeah. It's hurting me
Yeah.
deep within my soul to think about.
Okay, but isn't that a perfect metaphor for what Legends is?
It is. Yes, I was making this exact point earlier. Go explain this.
Yeah, you got all these hodgepodge assembly of sizes. You got the trade paperback, the mass market paperback, your tall boy, big boy. What do you call it? Tall boy, not big boy.
One word, tall boy.
Tall
right.
boy, yeah. And then your creepy ones. And so you don't know what's going to be on your shelf. And every reading experience for a different book is different because it's different sizes, different hand cramp positions that come up. And so it's like the hodgepodge of stories and legends. You never know what you're going to get. So it's exciting stuff.
That's my experience with my High Republic shelf, because it's either I tried putting it in timeline order, and there are so many different formats that's junior novel, YA book, adult novel, manga, comic trade paperback, IDW comic trade paperback. Every single one is a different size. Every single one.
It's like when the
then the kids storybooks. It's another one. Yeah, I got 6 different formats of books. So yeah, it's a bit of a mess.
I remember the Myth and Fables that came out.
Yes, there are 3 different sizes of that book.
Yeah, exactly. I think I have all 3 because I have to. But yeah, that's Star Wars for you.
I think I only have 2 of that one. Are there 3?
There's a Target, a retail copy, a regular retail copy, and the Park Galaxy's Edge one.
And Universe.
So,
yeah.
I only have 2.
Which one?
This looks like a job for.
Hey, I have one for
thrift
sale.
books.
What are you looking for?
Okay.
Yeah, which one do you not have?
Okay. We're going to find out after the show.
Because the Target one you don't need. If you have the Galaxy's Edge one, which is the leather bound one,
Don't you say I don't need it. They have different covers.
they have different covers, but that one, the one that Rick has all the stories. The Target one has 3 extra stories. The Galaxy's Edge one has 6 extra stories. So
They have different covers.
they do have different covers. That is true.
I got a set of the Target exclusive that I will sell you.
I think, yeah, okay. We'll find out
After celebration.
After celebration.
No, I need to make a buck. Okay, we've been over this. I need to fund my habits.
That's right. That's right. We need one of those memes of who is it? Dave Chappelle with the powder on his face. It's like, got any more of those Legends books? That's what tonight is all about.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've talked about the size. The fact of the matter is, size matters not. Everybody, do it however you do it. Grab the books, put them on your shelf, read them, give them to a friend.
Scratch them, sniff them, whatever.
Scratch them, sniff them, and move along. Move along. Now, the fact of the matter is, some of the esteemed Legends books were not released in the retail version, Tallboy edition. I've got books everywhere tonight with this episode. They're falling over in my lap. Some of them were not released even in a sci-fi book club edition. Sadly. Then, what are we going to do about these? Some of these books, in particular, would be infamously the X-Wing series. Do not have hardcover editions.
It hurts.
Except for one. Mercy Kill. So then are you going to get it as a hardcover, but not the others?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's the solution here, guys? I've got one, but it's not entirely legal.
I just went to your solution in my head. I like the first time I considered it because I love like the books of that series that I've read, and so having them in hardcover would be nice.
Yeah, we won't say it.
No.
But the fact of the matter is, there are people who this keeps up at night, and so we have to find workarounds. We have to find workarounds. However, this leads me to a very important point that I want to make very clearly on this show. Getting a lot of Legends books, especially hardcovers, the only way to get these is in the aftermarket. The problem with that is what, guys?
There's a cost.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
I've spent a lot of time
For
on
us.
eBay.
Yeah, the other downside is
Yeah, you're not supporting the author directly anymore.
in this bothers me.
Yeah.
This does. I've got a solution. You Venmo the author money for dinner. Just kidding. No, here's what you do. I'm of the opinion that if you get a book from, thrift books, aftermarket, thrift store, so forth and so on, I like to have paid the author for the book in some form or fashion first. So I own a lot of the books on Kindle. I've got quite a bit of them on Audible. Obviously, more of them coming out these days in unabridged format. I like to have first, in some form or fashion, purchased the book in a way that supports the author. Do you want to say it is important to support authors? Other ways you can do this is to go out, and a lot of them have other books that are not Star Wars. You could take a peek at and read some of their other works. There are ways to, go and buy like a really nice collection. What was your solution you were giving earlier, Jacob?
Oh, yeah. Here, I can pull one off the shelf. It is comics related, and it's Omnibuy. Or omnibuses. So, I got mine of the Old Republic here. You can, they're coming out with like Legends ones of these currently. Like this was, I think, last July this came out. So yeah, you can grab these. And John Zach Miller got paid a residual for this comic book, and I got to enjoy it for the first time. We can get into comics collecting later, but this is, it would be nearly impossible for me to. It would be a lot of work and a lot of money for me to track down 50 issues of the Old Republic. Or I can just buy them all at once and support him and get this beautiful, nice collectible copy that looks great on a shelf.
Collectible.
So yeah, that is a great way you
I'm
can
of the
still support
opinion
authors.
that the bigger the book, the better it looks on the shelf. I've started picking up more and more of these Omnibuy, and that shelf is looking fantastic. And I'm like, do I need to buy all 3 editions of the original Marvel years? Am I ever going to read those things? I don't know, but they're going to look good on the shelf.
Did you see? We had a Blind Fates posted a picture of all of his Omnibuy in the boxes. He has like almost every Marvel published Omnibuy, and it's just like 2 boxes full of them. Which, if you're moving, don't do that. That's like each box is like probably 40 pounds. So not great moving tips, but it looked gorgeous together. Like I don't think I've seen a picture of his on a shelf, but I can only imagine how nice it looks with all of them together.
Oh man, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, I do want to say another great way to support the authors, make sure they get some residual pay, is you can, of course, get the new Essential Legends collections. These are actively supporting the authors whose books are being reprinted in this way, which is one of the big reasons why I support this project. For more on this, watch The Living Force Monday night, and we're going to talk all about the Essential Legends collections. That's one of the big reasons why this is important, is the great books of the past. The authors continue to get paid for their work. Now, guys, on the subject of hardcovers, let me toss it out to the room. Let's play a little game here. What's your rarest hardcover? What's one that you think would like fetch the most? Like, what's a expensive, one of these that is like a refinance your house kind of book? Can
I cheat?
Why not? It's Legends.
It's not. It's this.
Oh.
This is the.
But he is a Legends.
Yeah, that's why I think it's okay, because Thrawn is a Legends hero or anti-hero villain, whatever. So this is the Chaos Rising out of print cover. This retailed for $150. It no longer sells for $150. It's limited. Right. It's limited to 750 copies. Has a nice slip cover, which I'm not really going to mess with right now because I don't want to damage the dust jacket.
Get your oily fingers off that thing. These
regularly sell on eBay for over $1,600 and as high as $2,000. And they are probably going to increase in price in April when the Lesser Evil copy comes out to complete the trilogy. So.
The fact that I passed on that is causing me indigestion.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. No, I.
It hurts.
Long story, but I had an extra, and that I accidentally got. I ordered one for myself, and my partner ordered one for me for Christmas, and we did not realize that at the time. So we ended up with two. And I was like, I would feel awful about selling this, and scalping it and making a ton of money. Like, I didn't want to do that because I took it. I in essence took it away from someone that would have wanted it on accident. So I put it out to our Slack team. It's like, hey, I will sell this to you basically at cost, just add shipping. This was before the Greater Good copy came out, which is when it skyrocketed in price the first time. And yeah, at that point they're going around like $350 on eBay. I asked for basically $200 for the shipping and the cost of the original book. And Jared and Eric were both the ones that were interested. They kind of went back and forth. Neither of them really wanted it at the time because they're trying to save up for other stuff. And then Eric eventually took it. And then after that, it's, quadrupled in value. So
it's fine. It's fine.
That's off to you, Jacob.
See, look at Jacob's, first of all, look at Jacob's, nobility, his integrity, and look at my frugality.
You see,
saving money, self-control.
Getting you?
I was noble, but I was noble because I was only gonna bring home a couple $100. If I knew how much it was gonna go up, I would have not given it to you guys. I would have waited.
Fair, absolutely fair. Congratulations, Eric. And thank you, absolutely. Now, I've got to admit, I don't have a ton of super rare collectible books. I have a large collection of, Star Wars Insider magazines, single issue comics, graphic novels, trade paperbacks. I've got the entire canon hardcover collection, including, except for the out of print Thrawn books. I've got every cover. I don't have the con covers and that sort of thing, but with all the High Republic books, I've got all the covers that they've done on all of those. So a massive canon collection book, building out my Legends hardcover collection. I've got an entire Legends paperback collection. So I've got an expansive collection, though in terms of collecting the expensive books, I've started at the bottom. I've tried to get all the easily acquirable Legends hardbacks first. Some of my rarer ones would be Plagueis, Kenobi, and then a couple that I will show off. Here I've got the Dark Empire trilogy. This thing, it would be in better condition. A nice copy of this goes for what, $150, Rick?
Upwards of $200 easily. $250 even.
My wife got this for me as a gift. Shipped it all the way to Zambia. I've let a dozen, maybe 15 people borrow it and read it. Not anymore. Nobody else is touching this sucker. At this point, it's good condition, which is sad. But it's very precious to me, and I've probably read this particular copy 15 times as well. Got a couple more that are very precious to me. In terms of like value, Yoda Dark Rendezvous, I've got a really nice copy. So this one's like 80. A really, really like new copy. It is just pristine.
Nice.
Absolutely perfect condition. Very proud of that. And I believe who's up? I've lost track. Your rarest hardcover.
I guess I'll go. Yeah, I guess it's me.
Yeah, Rick. Rick's up next.
So, rarest hardcover. Yeah, similarly, I've got Kenobi, Plagueis. I've got some of the... whoops, let's not break my thing here. All right, I'll show this one real quick.
Here you go.
MedStar on Science Fiction Book Club.
Nice.
Yep. But people try to buy this one off me, and I'm like, I'm not selling it, but thanks.
It's like a really good condition. Goes over 100.
Yeah, it's not great condition, but it still has value to it. Let's see. And then, Don't Fall. I also have the Dark Empire trilogy. So, I bought this from a guy.
How many... Go ahead.
I got this from a guy who was selling it from Germany. Like he's German, so it's kind of ridiculous that it was internationally shipped. But he was selling it for a good price, really good dude. So that's the story to it. So both of our copies have been shipped internationally, just the opposite direction, I guess. And then,
That's hilarious.
I have the. You can't hear me. Ugh.
I love that this entire episode, Rick, is us running to our bookshelves.
Yeah. I have the Dark Forces trilogy, and I got these like piecemeal when I found a good deal. And so I think I paid like $80 for Jedi Knight, and then the rest I got for like $10 or less. So the whole trilogy for under $100, which is great because they go for a lot more, especially as a set, or sometimes Jedi Knight can be a couple $100.
Yeah, that's spectacular. I've been looking really hard at those recently and can't bring myself to spend the money.
One more I'll show is Star Wars in History. It's another reference book. It's rare-ish. It's out of print, so not coming back. And it can be anywhere from $80 to like $100.
Really?
And I really like it just because it's really cool subject matter. And it's shiny. It's got a shiny sleeve to it. But yeah, I found this at Half Price Books for like $10, $20. I was like, that looks cool. And looked it up later.
Half Price Books is a gold mine for Legends
They're getting
books.
smart, though. They're getting smart. So,
Are they? Okay.
yeah, they're starting to catch
How
on.
dare they?
I know.
How about this? We talked about the rarest hardcovers. Do you have any like sentimental hardcovers? Any prized or favorite hardcovers? You know, if it's a different answer, do you have any that are like very special to you? For me, my Darth Bane trilogy hardcovers are very special to me because I bought them as Rule of Two and Dynasty of Evil. I bought them as they came out.
Nice.
So I remember like going to the bookstore and getting these and like spending my hard-earned lawn mowing money on these bad boys. And then the fact that I would loan out this trilogy, which I would never do now because they're really rare and expensive, I would loan these out to all my buddies in high school. Each of these had been read by at least 10, maybe 12, 15 buddies of mine. It was just like the lunch table. Somebody would return it, and then the next guy would say, Jared, can I borrow it? And I was like, yeah, just put your mac and cheese away first.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I don't think I have too many that are sentimental on Legends. Some of the canon books, like I really liked the Tarkin book and A New Dawn, and so I had to buy those books like for a good deal when I could. But those books I wanted to get in hardcover, and so I had to kind of search for them until I found them. But I don't think there's many that are like have that sentimental attachment to, because like you said, I read a lot on
You got into it a little bit
Kindle
later.
and then Audible. That's really how I experienced books the most. So
Now imagine how sentimental some of these are going to be in 20 years. For
that's
you.
true. That is true.
Yeah, I got a couple that are sentimental to me. This one is my Darth Plagueis, which really it's not in the best shape. Like the dust jacket's seen better days. But like Jared with Darth Bane, I bought this when this came out. I was like a junior in high school, and like I think like a lot of people, like my Star Wars like obsession has kind of like come and gone in waves. And that was a time where I was very into it. And I was like, super nerdy, spent a lot of time reading stuff on Wikipedia. I'm like, oh man, the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, they're writing a book about it. Like, I got to read that. So I bought it and, held on to it. And now it's like, $60, $80. I'll never get rid of it. And like I said, like I like paperback copies of books for Legends traditionally, but this one means a little bit more to me. And then 1 second, this is heavy. This is the heaviest Star Wars book I own, which is surprising that it's not the KOTOR Omnibus. But this is...
You've got a heavier one?
Yeah.
Oh.
What a beauty.
This is technically 2 books. It's a reference guide, but it's Legends because Ralph McQuarrie. And it is his archive collection. It has basically all of his work that went into like before Star Wars was Star Wars.
Oh man!
Yeah.
And A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and then he worked a little bit on Return of the Jedi, but not very much. But it has like it's these are huge. Like it's not just like, oh, you open it up, it's a picture, and then you move on. It's like you open it up, there's like many pictures per page, and there'll be like a paragraph on each one, like describing what it is and his process and like what he was doing at the time. So yeah, this thing is enormous. But it's sentimental because one, I think, his art is, gorgeous. I don't have to tell you that. Everyone knows that his art is, a huge...
Wait, who is he?
I don't know. Ralph, my buddy. I don't know. But yeah, his art is a huge part of, what makes Star Wars Star Wars. But also, my fiance got this for me for Christmas. She isn't the best about keeping secrets. She always like tries to like leave. She's like, do you want to guess what it is? And I'm like, I don't know. And she like told me, it's like at one point, it's like, it weighs like 15 pounds and it's Star Wars. I'm like, I have no idea what that possibly could be. It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, is it an omnibus? Like, I don't know what weighs that much. I cannot possibly even like, it's not the like, Paul Duncan, like archives books or, whatever. And she's like, nope. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. You stumped me. That's a fun feeling.
Yeah.
Very fun.
That's a good one. I've almost bought it a few times, so I might have to once I can find it again.
Eric in the chat says his partner Charlie bought him that McQuarrie book for Christmas and carried it back on a plane in her lap.
Nice.
That is dedication.
I mean, you can't check that because your luggage is going to be over the weight like instantly.
Yeah, that's right. Just with the book. That's so cool. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Now, Jacob, I do want to give you a chance to talk about comics collecting, at least briefly here. We're going a little bit long. So, like, the basic rundown is, that collectors will focus on collecting single issues, trade paperbacks, omnibuy, and then this gets a little bit messy in the world of Legends because there's the Dark Horse, omnibuy, their paperback collections. Those have become quite rare. Mm-hmm. Those are really hard to get your hands on these days. So the Marvel Epic collections have been another way that people are trying to get their hands on these reprints. But some of those have even been, really expensive, have gotten to be really rare. And so getting your hands on some of those, like the legacy ones, for example.
I think New Republic Volume 4 Epic Collection is like $200. I think that's like by far the worst one. But yeah.
I might have that.
Volume 5 is the Dark Empire one, but Volume 4, I have no idea. I honestly have no idea what's in it, but people freak out anytime it goes on sale.
Nope, I have 2 and 3.
There you go.
I love that. Now, do you have any advice for comics collectors, whether single issues, trade paperbacks, omnibuy, any of this is the way to go?
I mean, it depends on what your collecting style is, obviously. Like, for me personally, one, if you're just trying to read Legends comics, just get yourself a Marvel Unlimited subscription. It's like $60 a year. You can read, like, all of the old, like, the 70s and 80s Marvel stuff and all of the Dark Horse stuff. So like that's just like by far the easiest way to read it. But as far as collecting goes, it again depends. I think like we were talking earlier, you have to focus your collecting habits. I don't have to tell you how many Legends comics there are. It's insane. There are so many single issues. For you to like purchase every one would be almost impossible. And you'd be running around for a long time. So focus your collection. If you really love, the Old Republic, or you really love Legacy, or you really love the 77 series, you can work on picking up single issues one at a time. Going through like back issues at comic stores is a good way to do that. And it's also just a fun experience, just like thumb through the long boxes. So I do that, but then I think hardcover omnibuy are a good way to collect. They are coming out still pretty frequently. The Epic collections, another good way to collect them. I think it just kind of depends on what you're doing. I think for me personally, I'm in a stage where I'm not buying them right now because I can't afford them. But like if I was in the, like if I didn't have not an unlimited budget, but if I had a decent enough budget, I'd be collecting all the Omnibuy as they came out.
Yeah.
And then for me, I think a long-term goal in the future after I graduate and have adult money again, is I would personally love to collect single issues of the 77 series. There are 107 issues. Like, that's a lot, but it's not unattainable. But I think it'd be a fun thing to do. Just like to be like, I have all of the original Star Wars comics. Like, that'd be so cool. So that, I got one behind me, the first appearance of Valence. But
Oh, I've got that too.
yeah,
That's a good one.
so I think that's a fun future project for myself to like kind of like have something to work towards, because Jared's chasing his Legends hardcover collection. I can have my Marvel single issue comics collection, not to read them. Don't get me wrong, they're kind of wacky and are not really Star Wars at a lot of times, but it's just kind of it'd be cool to have that as a set.
I do love that advice. Collect a single run of comics.
Take your time.
With single
Pace
issues.
yourself.
And I did this when I was a preteen teenager, with the Marvel X Factor series from the 80s. Like, the original team of X-Men teamed back up. It's got the Inferno crossover. Jean Grey comes back from the dead. It's absolutely bonkers. And I've got all 70 issues of that. And it took me 10 years.
Yeah.
And so really love that advice. Absolutely.
The other thing, like, really quickly is like, pace yourself. Like, don't be like, even if I say like I'm gonna collect all of Legacy, don't just go like on eBay and just start buying issues. Like, you should really, look at how much they normally go for. I would usually try and go for like, don't buy it unless it's a deal. Like, you don't need to drop like $300 on the first appearance of Revan. You can, or if it's the Old Republic, you can hold out. Take your time, pace yourself, find a good deal. Don't just like pay the top price for it, because I think that's also part of the fun, is trying to hunt down and find those good bargains when you can.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say.
Definitely.
That's my best tip, because obviously I've got an issue. I have a problem, y'all. Can we have some therapy? We talked about it. And
Yeah, I mean, this episode is at least half intervention.
that's right. And so I do have a problem, but I will say I am good at finding a good deal. And so I have a big collection, but that
Yeah,
doesn't
you
mean
definitely
I've paid top dollar for everything. I've gotten, some deals. And Jacob, what you were saying about wait till there's a better deal, I was thinking wait till you find a chump, because that's when you. I'm just kidding, but no, seriously though, like finding a good deal is a big deal, huh? And so yeah, that's what I would echo. Is my best shopping collecting tip is, like you said, don't just impulse buy. Okay. I probably shouldn't be one to say that, but
Yeah, no.
only impulse buy if it's a good deal. How about that? That has the Rick stamp of approval.
Any other tips here? Now's a good time for us to get into our tips on collecting. So focus your collection on one specific thing, so a specific facet. In fact, the first time I heard this advice was from none other than Freddie was here. He loves this guy, Steve Sansweet from Rancho Obi-Wan, like the biggest Star Wars collector in the world. In the history of Star Wars, Steve Sansweet is the biggest Star Wars collector there has, or probably ever will be. And he actually gives this advice. Focus your collection on one thing. So like BB-8. Do a BB-8 collection. Anything and everything you can find with BB-8, get it. If you're going to focus on BB-8, don't get R2, get BB-8, right? Focus that collection, Rick. Just get your Sith Funko, right? Get the one thing. Specifically with Funko, I started off by collecting the Bounty Hunters. I completed it, and then I moved on to the Cantina. I was trying to complete the Cantina, and now I'm trying to get Legends Funkos. That's like an ongoing collection. Then like the Ralph McQuarrie concept art ones. I've got maybe half of those, but it's not like Freddie. I said Rancho Obi-Wan. It's someone Freddie. I love it. He said he's a lifetime member, and you can be too, using my promo code. No, I love that. Excellent. Any other advice, guys, on collecting?
I think Rick is another good proponent of this, but join some collecting like Facebook groups. Like find the outlets of where you're gonna be. Like, eBay and thrift books are always great, but there are good places to meet with similar creators, or not creators, collectors, because they're gonna have some pretty sick stuff that you might not be able to find elsewhere. The one I guess kind of downside is you're less likely to find like a steal because they know what their stuff is worth.
Right.
Like you're not going to find someone like selling a Tarkin for $20 very often on these Facebook pages, but if you're looking for something specific, you can probably find them there.
I've still found some really good deals.
Oh yeah,
in
it
these
happens.
groups, including our Discord buy swap swell.
Swole. Get swole.
Yeah, buy swap sell group in our Discord. Sometimes people are like, I'm moving, I gotta get rid of these books. I don't have time to like try to get top dollar. Or, hey, I'm not trying to make money off this as much as I want to help out another collector. Those are when you gotta swoop in.
Yeah.
And so definitely our own community is a good place for that as well. Another piece of advice that I have when it comes to collecting is enjoy the hunt. Let it be fun. Otherwise, it's just greed. If it is a hobby, it's a hobby, and enjoy having fun with it. For me, I'll take my kids. We go on like an hour-long trip to another nearby town. We check out the used bookstores. We go get ice cream. We go to a playground. We bring a friend. I'll buy copies of books for friends. Like I bought a loaner set of the Thrawn trilogy, and I've already put those to good use. So there's a lot in terms of enjoy the hunt and share it with others. And let me ask you guys this. Closing out, and then we're going to do a little stupid game. Okay. What's your holy grail? Like one book that for you is the absolute pinnacle crowning achievement of Star Wars, specifically Legends books, but you can go outside of that if you can. What's one that would for you be the absolute pearl of great price, if you will? Worth selling all that you have to acquire.
Okay, I'll go. It's not. It is Legends. So it's not one book. It's a series of books. And it's not even the most expensive one. Like the accumulation of the whole set just kind of gets a little pricey. And that would be a full set of Galaxy of Fear. A lot of my Legends collections, like I said earlier, collecting stems from nostalgia. And I had a lot of good memories as like a young kid getting these from the local library and reading them at home. I think I got the other like series I read a lot as like a kid was Last of the Jedi, not Last Jedi, but Last of the Jedi by Jude Watson. I have that full set.
I love those.
But yeah, a Galaxy of Fear set of those paperbacks would be pretty great, and some of them like have like foil covers. They're it's the 90s,
right.
So yeah, it'd be a nice fun collection to get down the road.
There are some really fun collectible ones. I've got a holographic one.
Yeah.
It's more like a trading card than a book. Oh my goodness. Okay, Rick.
Man, I don't know. I've kind of, as far as books go, I've kind of stalled out because I'm content. Like I said, I'm still trying to find more hardcovers, and what we said at our Magic Thriftstery shopping tour trip video from like 2 months ago. I want to find a book I don't even know exists yet, like especially like a reference book or something that is really off the beaten path, and that is a gem, that like a garage sale or something that somebody's selling for super cheap, doesn't know what they have. And I would probably tell them, hey, this is rare, here's a little extra for it, kind of thing. But at least I hope I would. I probably would not, and then regret that later or something. Anyway, or I would say another answer would be anything that Jared wants really bad. I would like to have.
You got to beat him.
Yeah, drink came out my nose. It really did.
That's great.
Okay, well, I'm not going to tell you what mine is. We're moving on.
Oh,
okay.
Man.
No, mine is... You guys want to guess what mine is?
I would say it's the limited edition Dark Empire signed by Vetch and Kennedy.
Oh, I've got it in the show notes. As I Googled this, there's actually more than one limited edition Dark Empire out there. There's another one, the collector's edition, that has the audio drama CDs with it. I just discovered this like live on the air, and I'm tingling.
So you typing was you going on eBay, right? That was the Placing your bids?
No, I'm not. I'm waiting until after celebration.
Huh?
This is like the holy grail for me. Like, this will be maybe to celebrate graduating from grad school or, paying off the car or something like that, right? For me, the holy grail, there were limited editions of Dark Empire 1 and 2. They're leather bound. They're signed by both Veach and Kennedy. And Veach just passed away. May he rest in peace and never be cloned again. And these were they're limited to 1,000 copies each. And they've got a slipcase.
Oh wow!
And they've got a slipcase. They are some of the most beautiful stuff, and they're sleek. Like, obviously, the art is so extra, and it's not on the cover. The cover is just Star Wars, Dark Empire, in, like, embossed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
Okay, guys, we've got a fun game before we close out the show. Thank you, Jacob, for being patient with us. We've gone long, and you have been an absolute champ. Here's what we're going to do, and everybody here in the chat gets their chance to play right along with us. Here's what we are going to do. We are going to play Legends The Price is Right. We're going to guess the value of about, 7 or 8 Legends hardcovers here. Price is Right rules. If you guess over, you lose. So we are going to start at the beginning of the timeline with no Googling allowed. I'm listening and watching for fingers typing. Okay, here's the list. First and foremost, Jacob, you're our guest. You get to go first. And everybody in the chat will give you time to guess as well. Dawn of the Jedi, Into the Void. How much is the hardcover worth? We're talking like, good condition here.
I want to say this one, because I have seen a lot of these books on your list on Facebook. So this is going to help me a lot. I want to say this one is $40.
And Rick?
I have this one, and I didn't pay that much for it, but I might have beaten like a rush. So I'm going to say $20.
Yeah, so Price is Right rules, according to the value that I found, Rick wins. However, Jacob is closer. Now, all of my values are done by, averages that I pulled up in about 20 minutes of research. So they're all disputable, but this is my show, so don't you dare disagree with me. The price that I have for this is $35. $35 is what I paid like last week. And we're talking about like an average of sold eBay listing and the Smugglers Group, recent sales there as well. Dawn of the Jedi, Into the Void, $35. So a little bit over the original hardcover price. Now, why are these rare? They're no longer in print, and so some are more collectible than others. Also, demand. Demand is a big part of it. That includes books that people love. Plagueis is especially rare. Kenobi's rare, that sort of thing. Revan and Bane. So forth and so on.
I'm pretty sure that some of those book groups can actually drive the price up pretty good, like unintentionally. If
sure.
Start talking about them, then all of a sudden the price keeps on going higher.
Well, I've also seen price crash on some books. Like ask someone who bought a New Dawn a year ago how much they spent on it now and how much it goes for. It's wild.
It's way cheaper.
Yeah.
That's not good. How much is it worth
there's
now?
one for
It went from 200
$65?
to 60. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't pay 200, so that's good. But
I don't remember what I paid, but I think Timothy got me a deal. He found it for like $10 somewhere, which was
nice.
Nice.
I definitely paid more than 60. I'll just leave it at that.
There's another piece of advice. Find a friend who will have your back.
Yes.
Okay. Next up, we talked about Dawn of the Jedi. Next up, Clone Wars Wild Space. Shout out to Eric, who loves this book. Did it with us on like episode 3 or 4 of Legends Lookback. Clone Wars Wild Space. How much is the hardcover worth? Now, this was also hard to find at bannerless. Tough to find as a paperback that's bannerless as well. That's valuable in its own right. But how much is the hardcover of Clone Wars Wild Space? Jacob went first last time, so Rick, you are up this time.
$125.
125 is Rick's guess.
I know.
Jacob,
are there two Clone Wars books like?
Yes.
Okay.
No Prisoners is the other.
Okay, I know one of them is like ballpark 200, 250. I don't know which one it is. I'm gonna guess 175 on this to play it safe.
Good guesses, both of you guys, as well as from the chat. Everybody else is guessing. We've got a guess for 180. We got a guess for 45. The value that I found is, and obviously these things can fluctuate, but recently, $150. $150 is what I found for Clone Wars Wild Space. I wouldn't sell it to you for that much because honest, I can't afford to buy it for that much either. I don't have it.
I don't think I have any of those in hardcover. I might have. I have the Clone Wars novelization in hardcover. That's what it is. But I have the trade paperback for those, I think.
Yeah, with the Legends hardcovers, I've tried to start at the bottom and get the affordable ones, work my way up. All right, next up, The Last Jedi. Legends, not the canon one.
The Michael
Legends
Reeves
Last
novel.
Jedi, starring Jax Pavan, and boy, is it bazonkers.
Okay, hold on.
This is Sci-Fi Book Club, right? That's the only way you can get it hardcover. Is that correct? Or
That is correct.
Was this a late published book?
It is. Actually, Jacob, I'm not sure. It may not just be SFBC, but it could be. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's, I'm going to say 200.
And Rick.
I don't even know like a ballpark on this. So I'm going to go Price is Right style, $1.
$1? Okay.
And Eric in the chat wins with $250.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hate to break it to you, Eric, but this is in fact an auction, and you have now
purchased it?
agreed to
Wow.
pay for that book. That's right.
Yes.
$250. You gotta sell one of those lightsabers, my man. All right. And next up on the list is none other than the Legends classic masterpiece, The Crystal Star. The Crystal Star is book number 4 in tonight's show, spinning the big Prices Right wheel. Rick, what's your guess?
$10.
$10. And Jacob.
I don't even know what this book is. I'm just gonna guess 12.
It is widely regarded by many, and I have to admit I've never made it all the way through. It is widely regarded by many as and we mean this with love, the worst Legends book ever.
Worse than
No.
Ruins of Dantooine, or is
I've not read either.
Okay.
There's a reason.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna read them both this year. I'm trying to hopefully. Anyway, all right, ready for the total? $4. $4 is the average price.
I overpaid.
The Crystal Star hardcover.
There's giving these
every
away?
week, I see. Sometimes I go into used bookstores and there's 10 or 12 just lining the
Yeah.
shelf.
That's the same way with like Children of the Jedi and a couple of the other ones that are, I think, YOUTINI tier 3 or tier 4 on the reading order that you can find pretty easily, and they're cheap.
Yeah. If you want to beef up your hardcover collection,
Yeah.
chances are the half-price books near you has 15.
Yeah.
And next up is the first printing of Heir to the Empire. First printing, there were 4 original hardcover printings of Heir to the Empire. They all had different color covers. The first printing of Heir to the Empire.
Okay, hold on. So
Jacob, you're up first.
hold on, clarification here. So, what are we saying is determines this, like the true first that like
There's a whole thing. I didn't research it.
It's
Some people are
it's
experts
numbers.
in this.
Yeah, here I
I'm
can
not.
show you right now.
well, like some because like I've got one that says first edition and it has like the
First
the
edition
library-
doesn't mean anything.
right
like,
the-
basically.
the Library
First
of Congress
printing. First printing. I
number
still am not
whatever.
up with my.
Here, I can show you right now. Yeah, so first edition, for people, if you throw first edition for Star Wars books,
I messed up.
I'm not blaming you. I'm informing the audience. First edition for Star Wars means literally nothing unless it's Heir to the Empire, the Anniversary Edition. That's the only Star Wars book ever that has a second edition. First printing, they basically do printing runs. There's this weird series of numbers. It'll differ how they're used based on publisher, but for Del Rey, and I believe Bantam is the same, the far right number, the far right digit is the printing number. So for this, my Plagueis, it's a 1, so it's the first printing. So that's how it works.
And I've heard for other publishers, I got sweat in my eyes, sorry, so I'm like having like an eye stroke over here. But the lowest
off the
digit
rails.
out of those digits there, like the lowest will be the print number. So even if it's like in the middle, if it's a 1, then you have a first print, is what I've heard as well.
So that first print, it's like it's literally they print them all at once, they stop, and then they print another set. But there can be changes, like if they find typos, the publisher might update the copy and everything, but it still will be first edition. But the
Has to be a
printing
significant
changes.
change.
Yeah.
Right.
I suppose that is relevant information for tonight's show.
I'm pretty sure I have a first print of Heir to the Empire. No, now whether it's the true first print, because Jared, weren't you not talking about how, like you said, the color difference and like Zahn will recognize
Zahn
them?
has He does. He's got a whole tirade on this, and I used to know it and have forgotten it. I made way for other knowledge, like how much a Kenobi hardcover is worth.
I think it's my guess on this one. Still, I honestly have no clue. I'm gonna play it safe and say like $50.
And Rick,
I was thinking like $30, just because I have one.
yeah, from what I have found, a first printing is $50.
Really cool.
But
On the
there
nose,
are regularly
on the nose.
good yeah, very good, very good. Are we keeping score? I'm not keeping score. I think Eric is winning. He's not even on the show. And first printing of anyway, a hardcover, good condition of Heir to the Empire can go as low as $20, and so I found quite a few that go for about the $20 to $50 range. And then two more, Kenobi. Kenobi, very much a very desirable book these days for some reason.
Yeah.
How much?
We're doing average.
Kenobi hardcover. Yes, I've averaged recently sold good condition, like excellent to very good condition.
All right.
Listings.
I'd say an average $80.
I don't.
Yeah, he nailed it. It's 80.
Wow. Okay. My thought was like 60, 70-ish range, but I didn't know if they've gone up because of the show recently or. But
Rick's making a comeback
Wow.
here, making a comeback. And finally, Shadow Games, the Dash Rendar novel, where he is a bodyguard for a pop star. It is really ridiculous and very fun.
Was there a SFBC of this one?
It is SFBC.
ooh. Okay, and
This one's for all the marbles.
I believe I remember you talking about this during our Shadows of the Empire crossover. I still don't know what this book is, but I do remember it now that you said Dash Rendar.
It's a sleeper hit.
I'm gonna guess this is a sci-fi book club, and some weird, I don't know, book that I'm just gonna guess a lot of people want it for some reason. So I'm gonna throw out like 120.
And Rick.
I think I have this one, and I didn't pay a lot, so I'm going to say 15.
All right, the average that I have found is $135.
Whoa! I hope I have this book. I'm going to go check my boxes tonight.
Yeah. If so, you should sell it and make some money back.
I need to. It's kind of a hard time right now. Okay, I'm not crying. I'm actually just sweating, but like the tears are coming now, so it's bad.
Well,
Maybe it's my debt welling up within me.
That's coming, but we are going. This episode is over. We have had a lot of fun. Jacob, tell us what is coming up next week on the Cosmic Force. Obviously, as I said, Monday night we've got the Essential Legends Collection episode of the Living Force, and then Wednesday,
next week is the 1-year anniversary of the Cosmic Force. We launched the beginning of April 2021, and somehow it's been a year later now. So yeah, it's gonna be a little celebration of the past year of the show. Some of the comics that have come out in that past calendar year, and yeah, some of the favorite moments and what we've enjoyed about making the show so far, and hopefully maybe a look ahead at what's coming in the future. So yeah, if you I hope you join us. It'll be a lot of fun.
definitely. I'm so proud of you guys. I feel like you're like our podcast little brothers.
It's like I thought we were gonna get canceled after 2 months, and somehow Corey hasn't ripped us off the air yet.
I still, yeah, I'm proud of you guys too, because I'm learning a lot from your show. Like, because I am new to comics, and I've gone back and searched YouTube for like, specifically YOUTINI, of course, and Cosmic Force, and like, okay, where do I start for this? Or I remember I watched the Mutiny of Mon Cala like live, and I just picked that up at the store. I was like, hey, I know this one. It was really cool.
Hold on.
Good job.
Yeah.
I literally was listening earlier today, and what was the episode? The one before the round table. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes behind.
Oh boy, I don't even. Was it Paolo Villanelli Artist Spotlight?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah. And it was at some point in the episode, you guys were directly talking to me, and I was not there in the live chat. I was in my car, and I was like, "No, yes, nobody can hear me." It was quite the experience. So if you guys are not checking out the Cosmic Force on Wednesday nights, you're missing out. It is absolutely one of my top 3 or 4 favorite podcasts on the internet.
Wow, high praise.
And I'm not exaggerating. Not exaggerating. That does it for this week. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us live. Thank you.
Wait, I didn't get to show off my Star Trek action figures.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Legends
cord.
Look Back there. Not the kind of collection we are looking for tonight. Thank you, Jacob, for podcasting with us. And want to say, of course, thank you to our incredible patrons for your amazing support. Especially want to thank, Indar, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander on the Jedi High Council. And then on the Alliance High Command, Matt Billington, Elizabeth Cloutier, Freddie C. Sally, and Chris Eilerson, and possibly more, because let's admit it, I forgot to check if we've got any more patrons. Remember, everybody, to sub to the channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. That helps other people find the show just like you did. Want your thoughts right on the show? You can email us at legendslookback@youtini.com. You can send us a message. Try this again. You can send us a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel, where everybody's screaming at me about my opinion on Revenge of the Sith's canonicity. You can leave us a comment on this episode on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitter at Legends Look Back. I'm at Jared Q. Mays, Rick.
At Rick_Grace.
And Jacob.
At Jacob Boesch.
Wonderful. If you're looking to buy some of these books, such as all these Legends hardcovers, I don't know if we've got links to the Legends hardcovers.
No.
Probably not. Probably not.
They don't sell those on
But
Amazon.
You can buy the nice, crisp, bannered copies by going to youtini.com, clicking the Amazon link in the profile, and then you can give us a few cents to help keep the lights on, and you get yourself a nice, clean, crisp Legends book. Of course, after you've read the book, you can leave us a review and let us know what you think. Remember, everybody, to keep the YOUTINI fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.
This is a YOUTINI broadcast.